Wars of the Roses. Wars of the Roses, 1455 to 1485, in English history were the series of bloody dynastic civil wars whose violence and civil strife preceded the strong government of the Tudors. Fought between the two houses of the age-old royal Plantagenet family, House of Lancaster and House of York for the throne and of local government. The war's name was from the contending parties, the White Rose of York and the Red of Lancaster. Both houses claimed the throne through descent from the sons of Edward III. Since the Lancastrians had occupied the throne from 1399, the Yorkists might never have pressed a claim only for the near anarchy prevailing in the mid-15th century. After the death of Henry V in 1422, the country was subject to the long and factious minority of Henry VI, August 1422–November 1437, during which the English kingdom was managed by the King's Council, a predominantly aristocratic body. Lawlessness was rife and taxation burdensome. Henry later proved to be feckless and simple-minded, subject to spells of madness, and dominated by his ambitious queen, Margaret of Anjou, whose party had allowed the English position in France to deteriorate. In 1453, when Henry lapsed into insanity, a powerful baronial group installed. In 1460, Richard, 3rd Duke of York, was declared as protector of the realm. When Henry recovered in 1455, he re-established the authority of Margaret's party, forcing York to take up arms for self-protection. Although armed clashes had occurred previously, the first battle of the wars, at St. Albans, May 22, 1455, resulted in a Yorkist victory and 4 years of uneasy truce. Although several Lancastrians died, their heirs continued to fight with Richard. A new phase of the Civil War began in 1459, after which York fled to Ireland, and the Lancastrians, in a packed parliament at Coventry, November 1459, obtained a judicial condemnation of their opponents and executed those on whom they could lay hands. The Lancastrians nobles gathered their forces in the north of England, and when York tried to occupy the north, he and his son Edmund were killed at the Battle of Wakefield in December 1460. From then on the struggle was bitter. Both parties laid aside their scruples and struck down their opponents without mercy. The cold-blooded and calculated ferocity that now entered English political life certainly owed something to the political ideas of the Italian Renaissance, but, arguably, it was also in part a legacy of the lawless habits acquired by the nobility during the 100 Years' War. In France, the Yorkist forces were regrouped and returned to England in June 1460, decisively defeating the Lancastrian forces at Northampton, July 10. York tried to claim the throne but settled for the right to succeed upon the death of Henry. That effectively disinherited Henry's son, Prince Edward, and caused Queen Margaret to continue her opposition. In the bloodiest battle of the war, the Yorkists won a complete victory. Henry, Margaret, and their son fled to Scotland. The wholesale executions that followed the Battle of Hexham, May 1464, practically destroyed what was left of the Lancastrian party, and the work seemed complete when, a year later, Edward V and Richard, the only two surviving sons of Edward IV, were captured and put in the Tower of London, which weakened Richard's claim to the throne. The Tudors. As Richard's right to the throne became tenuous as he was accused of the disappearance of the princes in the Tower, the Lancastrian Henry Tudor, with the help of France and many nobles, staked his claim to the crown when he met Richard on the battlefield and beheaded him. Henry was declared King Henry VII. After his official coronation, Henry married Elizabeth of York to reconcile the long-feuding Lancaster and York houses. This union ended the Wars of the Roses and gave rise to the Tudor dynasty. After 30 years of political manipulation, horrific carnage and brief periods of peace, the wars ended and a new royal dynasty emerged. The battles in this war. First Battle of St. Albans, the 22nd of May 1455. Battle of Blow Heath, the 23rd of September 1459. Battle of Ludford Bridge, the 12th of October 1459. Battle of Sandwich, 1460, January 1460. Battle of Northampton, 1460, the 10th of July 1460. Battle of Worksop, the 16th of December 1460. Battle of Wakefield, the 30th of December 1460. Battle of Mortimer's Cross, the 2nd of February 1461. Second Battle of St. Albans, the 17th of February 1461. Battle of Faybridge, the 28th of March 1461. Battle of Towton, the 29th of March 1461. Battle of Hedgley Moor, the 25th of April 1464. Battle of Hexham, the 15th of May 1464. Battle of Edgecote Moor, the 26th of July 1469. Battle of Losecoat Field, the 12th of March 1470. Battle of Barnet, the 14th of April 1471. Battle of Tewkesbury, the 4th of May 1471. Battle of Bosworth Field, the 22nd of August 1485. Battle of Stoke Field, the 16th of June 1487.